What's Morticia dressed up for today?
Holiday party, man.
I'm telling you, I'm coming back in my green sweats and my cutoff shirt and a Santa hat and red shoes.
You probably do have red suede shoes, don't you?
I do.
Do you have the lime green leisure suit? That's what I want to know.
I'll buy you one.
You ever had one?
I'm guessing you're what, a 42 long? Yep.
You got the fashion eye, my friend.
I know my suits.
I bet these guys are no show. I can run it over to them. Because they're closing, actually. Which is, it's a long run.
Institution. How many years were they there, the family?
They've been there since 1980. Great, still, great lunch crowd. And yeah, thanks for getting me in trouble, Kirchlow. I've been working all day, so my fellow labor people will understand that. When you gotta work, you gotta work.
Recording in progress.
Good morning. I'd like to welcome you to the Tuesday, December 19th meeting of the St. Joseph County Board of Commissioners. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First item on the agenda is the accounts payable docket. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you
Aye.
vote? Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next is one of the better things we get to do, and that is recognize our citizen, our youth of the month, and our business of the month. And we're going to start with the citizen of the month.
Citizen of the month is Charlotte Barrier, and I believe Mr. Critchlow will be at the microphone. And anybody else wants to stand with them, come on up.
Thank you, Commissioners, so much for the opportunity to come here today to honor someone that is very important to us and the entire community. And about a year ago, two people, I joke often, the two people said yes to me, and it made both my life infinitely better and the community infinitely better, and both of those individuals are standing up here with me today. And as typically as a person of my generation, I know everything already, and I don't need you to teach me anything. And that was my attitude when I was running for the office of trustee of Portage Township. And then, as many people can relate to, I was elected, and then you hit a moment where you're like, oh my God, I actually have to do this job now, and it's a big responsibility, and I really don't want to screw it up. So that's why I'm thankful for Charlotte Barrier. I reached out to her. I asked if she would come in and make sure that I don't screw things up, because her expertise is legendary. She began working at Portage Township in 1983. I'd like to remind her that I was born in 1982. So from 1983 to 2018, she basically worked full-time for Portage Township. Then she worked on an as-needed on-call basis after that. I called and asked if she would be willing to come back and work in a more full-time basis for the township to teach us, make sure we knew what we were doing, make sure we were doing everything right. Her expertise is legendary, both here in St. Joe County. Townships all over the state of Indiana know about Charlotte Barrier. They call, they ask her questions. When I run into them, is Charlotte still there? Charlotte, 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 Charlotte. Residents come in and ask if Charlotte's here. all the time. They've known her for years. She is tough. One of the toughest people I've ever met. She doesn't think she's right. She knows that she's right. She will tell you that she knows that she's right. She will come back, her husband's sitting over there nodding his head. She will come back days later and tell you that she was right. But I do have to say that she will admit when she is wrong if you give her the opportunity to come to that conclusion on her own. But she's also one of the most empathetic persons I've ever met, kind-hearted, loyal, fun. Over the years, she has helped thousands of residents here in South Bend and Portage Township, St. Joe County, turned their life around, got them through tough moments, things that they may not have gotten through without her help. And oftentimes, as you all know, you don't get a thank you for that. So I appreciate the opportunity here to say thank you to Charlotte for everything that she's done for our community. She's a LaSalle graduate. Her husband is Joe Barrier. We don't know how he puts up with her because he's about on the polar end of the spectrum there. Commissioner Dieter might be very familiar with her time spent at Mr. Moo's and Rum Village as a bartender before she started working at Portage Township. Those are stories that we can't tell at a commissioner's meeting. She has 8 kids, 20 grandkids, and 18 great-grandkids plus 1 on the way. So when Chet Wagner's done, the Barrier League will need to be formed because they're going to have enough people for their own baseball league. So thank you so much for the opportunity to thank her for her work here in the community. Thank you so much, Charlotte, for everything that you've done.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Jason's too kind.
Whoa. He spoke for 15 minutes. You can,
He said it all.
cool.
What
Lana,
more can I say?
Anything else? No, we thank you very much. That's, for those who are involved in our world of serving the public, sometimes you get a lot of venom from citizens and sometimes you get a lot of venom from other people in our business. So all the time that you've spent there under several people, I'm sorry you had to work under Sean Coleman for all those years, but that's gone. No, just teasing. But no, thank you for all you've done. It's a good thing that we have people like you working in county government.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Come on up. Wants to get up for the picture, come on. Don't worry about it, man. There you go. You go stand next to each other, get over there.
Yeah, I don't know, where are we going?
Take a football picture. We good?
Yep.
Good job, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, trustee Critchlow. I'll get in trouble for that now, too.
Next, we have our Youth of the Month.
The youth of the month is McKenna Delaney. And Mom, you can come up with her if you want to go to the microphone. McKenna is a 17-year-old and a current junior at IUSB with a 4.0 GPA. So if you added Mish and we may get close to that. Close, a long time ago. She graduated from Career Academy in 2022 at the age of 15 with her certificate in the Certified Clinical Medical Assistance from Ivy Tech also. She is a biology major, minoring in chemistry. She hopes to attend medical school after she graduates, college at 19. At IUSB, she is very active in the honors program and the botany club. She's even found time on weekends to volunteer. This past summer, she became a scuba certified, Mr. Kursitz, and plans to take a Belize class this summer. She is truly humble and a hidden gem in our community. Mom?
I just wanted to nominate McKenna because she is unlike any other child I've had. I have 3 children, and I've fostered many, and she is just so self-driven, and I have never had to tell her ever to do work or to aspire to do something. She just has this greatness deep inside of her, and she inspires me to want to be a better parent, want to be a better person, and I know that she's going to be great in whatever community she lands in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
McKenna, you want to speak about any biology questions, or we may be able to answer them? You can step up to the microphone. Okay, what did you find the hardest about scuba diving?
Honestly, just the anticipation of everything was really bad. But then once I started scuba diving, it was just so much fun. I could talk about scuba diving forever. It's pretty exciting. So this summer I'm going to Belize for marine biology to do some research with my professors and do some scuba diving.
Okay, you know that Mr. Cursis started the water rescue, and probably for the country, a long time ago, with the big helmets and big diving boots and all that. But cool, but yeah, it's great that we have young people in the community doing great things. You're a role model for all the youth around here, so congratulations on what you have done and all the things you're about to accomplish later in your life, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Come on up. No. The business of the month is Samari's Old Town Tap. They are not present, so we'll drop that off. They're going to close, I think, next week after being in business there since 1980. So we'll drop this off to them maybe later today. I'm done.
Thank you. Moving on to bills approved by the county council. Is there a motion to approve both ordinance 140-23 and 141-23?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote? Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next are 2 reappointments to the St. Joseph County Board of Health. I will open it up for nominations. 2 names have been given to us. I will nominate Michelle Migliori and Dr. Elizabeth Lindeman. Any other nominations? Motion to close?
Motion to close nominations.
Yeah, well, close the nominations.
Yes.
Yes.
Motion has been made and seconded. I'll open
Commissioner
it up.
Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do
Aye.
you vote? Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye. Now we need a motion to approve the reappointment of Dr. Migliori and Dr. Lindeman.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next is approval of the Sender Dalton 2024 service agreement.
This is our standard consulting agreement with Sender Dalton. They provide a very important service to the county, assisting with all types of work, whether it comes down to budgeting and through the budget season, or assisting with abatements and those types of analysis when it comes to bonding. I've reviewed it, it's appropriate, and would ask for your approval.
I will say, you've mentioned it, that he really does provide, Senator Dalton provides services not only to us, the council, really works closely with the auditor,
Almost every department.
just about every department. So,
Before we take a motion, I'd like to also add that we would be in dire straits if it wasn't for all the information we get, especially from Mr. Dalton, on every aspect of county government. So his services are greatly appreciated by everyone.
They are. If there are no other comments, do we have a motion to approve the Senator Dalton 2024 service agreement?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote? Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next is approval of the Portage Manor security contract.
We have CEO Neil Graber will just give us a brief synopsis of what we're doing out at Portage Manor to secure the building during the auction process, which is now going on. So Neil explained what we have, and the good thing about working with them, we have the ability, at some point, we will probably reduce that. We just want to make sure nothing is damaged while we are in the process. So it's your,
Sorry, I wasn't too prepared for this. I got told yesterday to come here.
name and address for the record, sir.
Thank you.
Neil Graber, I'm owner of Trinity Protection Group. Currently at Portage Manor, what we're doing, obviously, like they said, we helped through the closing of the manor, and now through the auction process. We've employed off-duty police officers from county, South Bend, and a couple other small municipalities around to work during the daytime and overnight. Basically, that's to help deter people from coming and going. Even when the Portage Manor was open, they were seeing a lot of, even though there's employees there, they're still seeing people coming in, trying to seek shelter inside there and kind of grab the rooms. Now that it's vacant, we're seeing more foot traffic around, especially in the wooded area, and people start to kind of migrate towards the building. So we're trying to keep people separated from that, not let them on the property, especially with everything in the facility that they're auctioning off. Additionally, we're doing checks of the water pipes, make sure they don't freeze, especially now with the water, the colder temperatures coming in. And checking the facility. We have a lot of people out there currently with, like, the Dukem Center helped a lot with getting the auction stuff ready to be auctioned. And then the auction companies, we have a lot of people that work for them coming and going. So we're doing door checks continually, because we found multiple times where people would be there, they'd step outside and throw something in a dumpster and come back in, the door wouldn't latch. So as the guards do their checks, we're checking that as well to make sure the facility itself is secured. And then from there, just making sure we kind of preserve the building itself and the contents within until the auction process is finished, at least.
Thank you. I think since it was closed at the end of July, I think there's been at least a dozen people who have come. Well, like even last week, people just trying to walk in, even though everything is marked, there are barricades. And so that's one of the many reasons, besides checking all of the utilities, that pipes don't break and there's any other things going at that building, so.
Yeah, we've had quite a few people come in. Some people just curiosity, want to come in and walk around, and obviously it's a closed building, they just can't do that. So we've had a lot of people coming and going.
Looking for ghosts.
Yeah, we've had that, a couple of those.
Cool. That's all I got, Carl.
Having had experience with closed buildings in other municipalities, I recognize how important it is to keep the building safe and secure. But really, once the auction is completed, we will have to reassess the need.
No, absolutely.
If there are no other comments, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
No.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
I'll go aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thanks, Neil.
Thank you, Lieutenant Graber.
What's his name? Lieutenant Greer?
Next, infrastructure planning and
Talk to me.
growth. The consent agenda. Do we have a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion to approve, yes.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote? Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Got that a little out of order. Next, we have approval of the project completion affidavit for State Road 933 and Riviera Drive. Good morning.
Good morning, Sky Metters, Department of Infrastructure Planning and Growth, offices on the 7th and 11th floor of this building. What this item is just the final paperwork item to close out the project and start the warranty and maintenance bonds for the project that was done over near Riviera Drive. Some sidewalk and some other improvements were done over in that area. The final project cost was about $458,000. We reviewed this and request your approval. Be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? If not, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you
Aye.
vote? Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Metters.
Thank you.
You may approach the bench. That's right.
Gee. Handouts today. Thank you.
Oh, this is updated because this, oh,
It's on, it's on. It's just
yeah, I know.
background.
Wow.
Good morning, Bill Shalio, Director of Economic Development, offices on the 7th, 11th floors, part of the Department of Infrastructure Planning and Growth. Today, we have a request to award the first section, IEC Infrastructure Improvements Procurement Package Number 1. When we submitted the original item for your packet, we didn't have a finalized set of numbers for item A. We do now, so what we'd like to do, we had originally 3 awards, pipe and valves, generators, and water tank. We received only awards, bids for items A and item C. For item A, the low bidder is Ferguson Waterworks in the amount of $1,402,214.67. For item C, the low bidder is Pittsburgh Tank in the amount of $987,500. These bid awards will be presented to the Redevelopment Commission for their approval this Friday. We were supposed to have a Redevelopment Commission meeting this morning, didn't have a quorum. They'll be presented this Friday at a meeting. And so we'll ask for your approval today, and then we'll ask for their approval on Friday. Any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
I got a question. Or you go first.
No, you can go first. You go first. All right, I'll go first. Glad we're doing this because these are long lead time items.
Correct.
How does this align with the estimates that we had?
So these are actually really good numbers. The Ferguson number is actually lower, and the water tank is right at, and actually perhaps a little lower too. Pittsburgh Tank, as I understand, was the company that built the water storage tank at the water treatment center originally. So this will be the second tank from their company. And then Ferguson Waterworks, it also provided pipe and materials and often works with Town of New Carlisle on their water system. So both of these are very compatible pieces and elements, so.
And this is to keep us in line with the timeline.
Exactly, yeah.
Of our commitment.
Yep, so the waterworks pipes, the item A, lead time items, these are pipes that we're buying for the June commitment for next year. So these are the pipes that we need to extend the water line from Larison into the project site. And then the water tank is a really long lead item. That'll actually help us with phase 2 construction at the water treatment plant.
Surprised that we didn't get any response on the generators.
So we will solicit, and DLZ has already been talking to companies that provide generators and other suppliers, and so we think it was, just a matter of the way it was all bundled together, but we are receiving favorable responses from generator companies. Those are really lead long items, and so we need to get ahead of those now, so.
How many bids came in for item A?
So we had 2 bids for item A and 2 bids for item C. And so on the table, on the actual table,
Right.
it shows those. But
Are
those
these
were,
local?
Where's Morgan? I'm gonna refer that question to Morgan from DLZ.
The two companies who
Name
bidded
and
for
address
item.
for the record.
Oh, Morgan Van Damme, DLZ. The two companies that submitted bids for item A are both local, and then the two companies that submitted bids for item C are not local. Pittsburgh is out of Kentucky, and then McGuire Iron, I believe, is out of Iowa.
Okay, when you say local, do you mean the Michiana area?
Yeah, within the Michiana area, yeah.
Okay. Are these union or non-union? Do you know?
Ferguson and Pittsburgh are union. I'm not sure about the other ones.
Okay. No further questions at this time.
If there are no further questions or comments, do we have a motion?
Well, I just have a question though, because you want to do the Ferguson water spray and the Pittsburgh tank, right?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you
Aye.
vote? Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next is,
Go ahead. Why didn't you have a quorum? Were they sick?
Two had business conflicts, the third was just unavailable. The other two were here present, so we need to have three in the room to have a meeting. So, we thought going into the meeting that we had a quorum, so that was not a.
That's all right, you don't have to explain. I'm just checking.
Yep.
next is approval of a request to advertise for the water transmission line and Fillmore Road Utilities Project.
Yep, so one of those, the project for which we're buying pipes, this is kind of the next piece of work. This has to be done later in the year. The completion date for this is December, but what we have to do is we have to extend water pipe from the Energy Center treatment facility to the site, and then also extend the water line from Larison along Fillmore into the site. What we'd like to do is advertise for bids to be opened on January 9th. We'd like to advertise December 22nd and December 29th, and would ask for your approval to do that. We would then seek to award the bids. Assuming we receive bids on the 9th, we'd seek to award them on January 16th. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
There being no questions, do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve to advertise it.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you
Aye.
vote? Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thanks, Bill. Next is the approval of the contract addendum for the JAAS General Consulting Agreement.
Abby Wiles, APC Director, offices on the 11th floor. Before you is a contract addendum with JAAS General Contracting for abatement services for the St. Joe County Code Enforcement Program, requesting your approval to renew the contract for a term of 3 years, retroactive to November 15th of this year.
For the record, can you expound a little bit on what we're actually doing?
Sure. So when St. Joe County Code Enforcement Program was formed and began enforcement in the spring of 2022, we went through a whole request for proposals process where we solicited proposals for firms or from private contractors for mowing and cleanup services for the St. Joe County Code Enforcement Program. We ultimately received no proposals, but throughout the course of operating the program, brought a total of 4 abatement contractors under contract with us. Some contractors are busy when we need work orders done. Others, jobs are larger. Some prefer small jobs. So we just kind of go round robin and whoever's available. And it has really helped to have a bench of general contractors for mowing and cleanup. JAAS pretty much does abatement for the program, which means they're doing work orders for cleanup of nuisance materials primarily, scrap metal, tires, and other items that would fall under the nuisance ordinance. Originally, when we went through the whole procurement process for our 4 contractors, we made the contract terms for a period of 1 year. We've been very happy with all the contractors we brought on with us for the code enforcement program, so we are requesting a 3-year contract. And I'll eventually need to bring contract addendums back for all of the, or for the other 3 that we brought under contract in 2022.
There's been a few complaints, situations brought to the commissioners. I just note that the contractors have been doing a good job, in my opinion, following up and cleaning up.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, I know you do a good job, hon. Thank you.
Thank you.
I've got some to add. Because when then Councilmember Krasinski and I started this, we were very adamant that we wanted more people. And also, we had to have the ability of self-initiate. I know your data is probably slow because everything now that you guys follow up on has to have a complaint. So it's not you at all. I will push for that again next year to the council, because for some reason, they didn't want us to go out, because we have phenomenal code people, and they just don't make stuff up. So during the course of a day, if myself or whoever is driving around, and if we can see it, somebody may not call because, 1, they don't want the notoriety, or 2, they think, well, maybe Mish called about it or Carl. But my personal opinion is we need to self-initiate when we see stuff like that. You don't have to answer, that's just me. We started at 10, by the way. I'm in favor of this, go ahead.
If there are no other questions or comments, do we have a motion to approve?
A motion to approve renewing the GAAS contract.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you
Aye.
vote? Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the final item under infrastructure planning and growth is approval of the engineering services agreement for small structure replacement.
Sky Meadows Department of Infrastructure Planning and Growth offices on the 7th and 11th floor of this building. What you have before you is an agreement, an as-needed agreement with McCormick Engineering LLC for services related to bridges and small structures in 2024. We'll basically use this to assign various structures that need design and permitting throughout 2024. It's for the amount not to exceed $175,000, and funding is available through American Rescue Plan appropriation. Happy to answer any questions.
We repaired several this past year.
Yes.
An ongoing effort to keep our bridges and roads.
Yes, it is.
Any questions about the engineering services agreement with McCormick Engineering? If not, do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner
Aye.
Dieter, Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Forgot my name already?
That's
Aye.
His fault. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks,
you.
Sky. Next, approval of the memorandum of understanding concerning the annual Burn Justice Assistance Grant Program Award. Is anybody here to speak on behalf of that?
Noonan's online?
Major
Oh,
Noonan.
there he is.
Good morning, Commissioner. Steve Noonan, Executive Officer, St. Joe County Police Department, offices 401 West Sample. This is the annual memorandum of understanding with the City of South Bend for the award of the annual Burn Justice Assistance Grant. Our expected revenue is $11,227. Preliminarily, we've discussed using it for technology for our warrants division. Be happy to answer any questions.
I got some questions. Steve, what specifically technology, what are y'all talking about on that?
Preliminarily, the warrants unit would like to get some enhanced surveillance equipment, mainly for apartment buildings and things like that.
Okay. Why does South Bend get the 157,000 and we only get 11?
It's my understanding is based on crime statistics off the NIBR statistics every year.
Okay, is that normal that they, because South Bend has a much larger crime statistical data that's gathered, is this part of their little headquarters thing where they have cameras and all that?
That I'm not 100% sure of. It's been, I know this year is slated for technology and officer safety. They've been doing this grant for several years, even back when I was on the department.
Okay.
If there are no further questions or comments, do we have approval for the annual Burn Justice Assistance Grant Program Award?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye. Sorry.
I'm Dieter.
Now you
I
forgot your
can't.
name.
It's been a rough morning
Gotta be
already.
the sweater.
Motion carries.
Sorry. Moving on to the Health Department. Approval of the request for contact between the St. Joseph County Health Department and the United States Department of Interior.
Good morning. Amy Rupi, Administrator with the Department of Health, offices on the 8th and 9th floor of the County City Building. And we are requesting support for our annual contract with the U.S. Geological Survey to observe wells in northeastern St. Joe County. The contract is for $3,000, and we split that fee with the surveyor's office, with each of us paying $1,500. And we do have Mark Espick here, the Director of Environmental Health, if there are any questions.
What's the surveyor doing with this? What? Surveyor's involved?
Yes.
Okay.
Mark, did you have something you wish to add?
No.
Okay. Certainly we want to keep monitoring our water.
I'm good.
If there are no further questions or comments, do we have a motion to approve?
A motion to approve it.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next for the Department of Health is the approval of a request for a grant through the Healthy Start Initiative, eliminating disparities in perinatal health.
And we are requesting support to apply for a grant through HRSA. And the goal of the project is to reduce the rate of adverse birth outcomes, fetal and infant mortality rates, and improve the health of pregnant women in St. Joe County. We will accomplish this through a program targeted towards the population that has the greatest disparity in health outcomes for pregnancy and birth. This project will target preconception women, pregnant women, new mothers, partners of pregnant women, and children under 18 months of age. The award total is $1.1 million per year for 5 years, and the award starts April 1st of 2024 and ending March 31st of 2029.
Haven't you gotten these grants in the past?
No, this is the first time we're applying for a grant through HRSA.
What, in the past, the community health workers were working on something similar to this, correct?
The community health workers are funded by the Centers for Disease Control grant, a CDC grant. We also have community health workers that are funded through a safety pin grant, and those two staff members are in the maternal infant health area.
Right, but in the past, you guys have worked on this type of subject matter, right?
That is correct, correct.
And then-
We're wanting to expand.
So have you found that the data with working with census tracts and so on, has that been beneficial to the community?
And I will ask.
I believe the answer would be yes. And like, if you have any data that says that we've worked on this and we've educated people on immunization, shots, proper eating,
Renata.
I could write that up for you if you want.
Renata Williams, Director of
No, okay. Go ahead, young lady.
Renata Williams, Director of HEED 125 Lafayette on the second floor. We do collect data for the CDC community health workers regarding their outreach and the social vulnerable index through the SNAs monthly that we report to the Board of Health. However, recently we have started specifically counting the community members that we provide education to and what subject. Before it was more broader outreach and event, but specifically what type of events we're doing, how many people we're reaching, and what type of education we're providing.
That was the point of my question, that this is very important work that the health department is doing, has been doing in the past for the betterment of people that may need all that type of stuff. So we appreciate the leadership and everything you guys are doing in the census tracts that it's needed. I have no further questions at the present time, Mr. Baxmeyer.
Thank you, Commissioner Dieter. It is important to know about the metrics of gauging the effectiveness of this going through. I know it's not something that's going to turn over overnight, improving perinatal health, but it's important that we do track that and going forward. And it was great to have the State Health Commissioner here the other day and heard a lot, learned a lot. If there are no further...
I'd just like to make people happy and healthier, too. Yes, great. Love to help that.
If there are no further questions or comments, do we have a motion to approve?
A motion to approve this request.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Finally, approval of a request for a grant through the Northern Indiana Rural Health Equity Project.
And this is a new grant that we would like to apply for. The funding amount is $5,000, and it would provide education and services, as well as increase awareness on preventable cancers in St. Joseph County.
And Amy, is this specifically targeted to the rural areas?
I believe so, yes. Yes. Yes.
By census tracts?
We'll have Danielle Sims, who will be the grant manager, answer some
They didn't
questions.
give you the crib notes before?
Danielle Sims, St. Joe County Health Department, 9th floor. So we plan to initially do an outreach with New Carlisle, Walkerton, and Osceola.
Okay. So that's the correct question.
Yes, it is.
Cool, and then are y'all still looking, because I remember the last director, we were looking for a building for your outreach that is now a place of smash burgers and ice cream. The old Chamille's Barbershop, Mr. Kursitz, are you guys still looking for buildings out in the community for your health workers? Are you all good where you're at? That'd be correct? Okay. I'll get with you. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? If not, do we have a motion to approve the request for a grant through the Northern Indiana Rural Health Equity Project?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amy Rupi.
Well, I just want to say, too, though, that I see here it says increase awareness on preventable cancers. Oh, for sure. Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Next, under Human Resources, Benefit Focus Management and Fulfillment Contract. Right. Gee.
Good morning.
Hi. Okay, benefit focus 1094, 1095C, distribution and fulfillment contract.
Name and floor number, please.
Thank you.
Courtney Mullins, 7th floor. So there was a hiccup in the past regarding this in this particular department, so we're fully outsourcing it to Benefit Focus. They will do all the fulfillment of this, but also spend up to 40 hours doing training and file formatting for us to be able to send to them. So
It's my understanding that they did part of this in the past.
they're
If
going
I
to be
heard
doing
you-
all of it.
They're going to do all of it now.
Yes.
And this is a one-year contract.
Yeah. So if we want to do it again next year, if it goes smoothly or if things change, we have the option.
Any questions?
No, I just comment, I'd like to thank Courtney and her staff that she's assembled of taking over the HR department that needed a lot of stuff to be improved, so we all up here appreciate all the hard work that you're doing for all our employees.
Thank you.
Is that anything else? Okay.
No further questions. Do we have a motion to approve the management and fulfillment contract with Benefit Focus?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote? Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
I've got a quick old business once we get to that.
Okay. Recorder, we have
Thank
a
you.
consent agenda, which is another Laredo agreement, which we're going to receive periodically.
Correct.
Being a consent agenda, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do
Aye.
you vote? Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Before we move to public comment?
Old
Commissioner
business
Dieter.
from Brent Burkus regarding the spill that emanated on the west side from the ethanol plant. That item is coming up here the 11th of January. And I will be going out to the site with them to find out specifically if they will tell us what actually happened. Because a lot of people in the community have wanted to know, all the people who have farms on Mayflower Road and going west toward the Kankakee, that there was a lot of spill. I think EMA went out there a little bit and checked on things. So on the 11th, we'll be, or at least I will, be out there to see what they want to tell us. And the Health Department has been out there also, right?
They have.
Guy with the sweater back there.
We will move on to public comments, beginning with the persons in the room.
Blackhawks?
Seeing nobody, does anybody online wish to offer a comment? See? Quiet there.
Seriously?
Well, this is
Must
our,
be doing good work, Dan.
this is our last meeting of the year.
For the record, that was a thumbs up to the good work.
This will be our last meeting of the year. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I think wanted to sing a Christmas carol.
That's what I was just going to say, too. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Best wishes.
Thank you.
Former Commissioner Castelny, could you lead us in Old King Wenceslas? I can, but choose not to. Okay, all right, gotcha.
There being nothing further, do we have a motion to recess?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, everyone.
Recording stopped.